host of the Gridiron.
So what does Spags, Judge, and Daboll all have in common? Well, not that they were all with the Giants. It's not all that they were, former head coaches. Because let's not forget, right? The infamous 2017 season. Spags was the interim head coach for the final 4 games of the season, right? He went 1-3. It's not. Judge was the coach, or Daboll's the coach. No, like that. What it is, right? Because Spags was with the Giants twice, right? What it is, just how I look at it, right? Is that sometimes, what they all have in common. And, you start looking at maybe kind of like what maybe how Daboll's kind of trending, right? As a coach. Maybe these, some guys are just better off as, coordinators, right? I mean, I know, Judge, I can't remember they had him in charge of. I don't know, it was the offense or the offensive line, whatever it was with the Patriots. I mean, that was like a total mess. But when he was with the Patriots, he was like the special teams. He was, he was with, Belichick. He did a very good job, very, very good job there as an assistant coach, right? Spags. I can't remember. Let's see there. Let me type this in real fast. His coaching. Is it gonna pop up here? When he was with the Rams, my goodness, coaching career. Okay, his head coaching career. He was 11-41. Right. Spagnuolo's first season with the Rams, he went 1-15, the worst record in the league and the worst season in franchise history. After rebounding to 7-9 in 2010, so they rebounded. So, that's what you want to do. You have a hard season, a bad because you stink. Well, the next season, let's win some more games and let's just keep going up. That's the way it's supposed to go, right? And that's the way with Campbell, right? With the Lions. I think what the heck did they do? They won, I think, 5 games his first year. Then he went to 9. Then he went to 12, and his past season 15. And I still think and feel, if their defense was not totally decimated, they might be in the Super Bowl, right? But another story for another day. But that's what you're supposed to do. First year, Spags with St. Louis Rams, and they stunk. They were the greatest show on turf, and 10 years later, they were absolute trash. But they were 1-15, then they went 7-9. But then after that, what were they? Let's see. Oh, I had it there. St. Louis Rams. Oh, there you go. They went from 7-9 back to 2-14. Tied with the Colts for the worst record in the league. Spagnuolo was fired on January 2nd, 2012, after compiling a 10-38 record in 3 seasons with the Rams, the second lowest winning percentage for a non-interim coach in franchise history. He was 10-38. Now, he might. So what's he got? 3. He's got 4 Super Bowl rings as the defensive coordinator. If they win again next Sunday, he'll have 5 Super Bowl rings as a defensive coordinator. But it was the same thing here with the Giants. He became the interim coach for the Giants the last 4 games of the season. Now, once again, we were just a team in disarray and all that, and he finished 1-3. But his coaching career, head coaching career, right, was 11-41. Basically like a 250 winning percentage. So for him, it's the same thing. You look at Pat Shurmur, right? Very good offensive-minded coach. Daniel Jones's rookie season, right? 24, started 12 games. He played in 13. He had a little cup of coffee In the one game against the Cowboys, we were losing 515-0. Pulled Eli, put Daniel Jones in there, I think, for one drive. So he played in the game, right? But he started 12 games. In those 12 games, he had averaged 2 touchdown passes a game. He threw 12 interceptions. He had 317 fumbles, which he had to start cleaning up. But he had 24 touchdown passes in 12 games. That's the best of his career. Right? Pat Shurmur was good at calling plays. But that was the coach, But I mean, Pat Shurmur, I think he was 9-23. Right? Yeah. He was 9-23 as a coach. This is Pat Shurmur with the Browns for 2 seasons. He comes to the Giants. He's the coach for the Giants for 2 seasons. And what's his record? 9-23. He was 18-46. Very good at calling plays. Not a good head coach. Joe Judge. He was kind of, at the time when we brought Joe Judge in, nobody knew anything about Joe Judge, this, that, and but a lot of people talking about it. It's like, man, this guy's like Bill Belichick's right-hand man. He's always talking to him and all that stuff and everything. He was in charge of the special teams. He did special teams for the Patriots, was very good. He did a very good job. He'd been around. He was Alabama with the Patriots. So he'd been around, and he did very good wherever he was at, but not as a coach. Not as a coach. Could be the same thing here. Could be the same thing here with Daboll, right? Did very well. I mean, he was with Alabama, right? He was their quarterback coach 1 year. Then, of course, he goes to Buffalo, right? And did a phenomenal job with Josh Allen, right? I'm not sure how much Josh needed, maybe some fine tuning, obviously, but Daboll was there, right? But is he more than that? Is he there's some guys are great. You can just go through tons of guys, right? Man, this guy's a great coordinator. You look at like Robert Saleh, right? When he was with the 49ers, man, they had a great defense. Man, I don't know how many times, I remember seeing him on the sideline. Of course, I can't miss him with the bald head, right? The 49ers out there, their defense was doing real good. He'd be all fired up. His bald head, the lights are shining off his head and all that. All pumped up, coming off. He's clapping, high-fiving everybody, stuff like that. Man, this guy's a good guy. Then he goes to the Jets, and they stink, So you could go on and on. I mean, obviously, some people are good coordinators, and they become good coaches. You look at Bill Parcells, Tom Landry, Vince, just on and on and on, right? But there's a lot more guys than not, right, are good coordinators, and that's all they are. Because you put them in the leading role, and it might be just, they can just, instead of just focusing on the offensive line, right, their offensive line coach, they do a great job, right? They can just focus on one thing and just focus on like maybe 10 players and the offensive line. They do a fantastic job. Or if they just focus on calling the offense or something like that, right? It makes it a little bit, obviously makes it a little bit easier. But some guys, when you just open up there and they're in charge of, the offense, the defense, in charge of the team, the special teams, that now, of course, obviously that too, calling plays, right? Seemed like we did better in 2022 than we did these past couple of seasons. And that, Daboll's there calling the plays. He's supposed to be like, we thought some kind of like magic man calling plays and stuff like that. Certainly didn't seem like that. We averaged, 15 points last season, 16 points this season. I mean, right? So maybe, just maybe, we'll have to wait and see. Daboll is maybe just a good coordinator. Just like I said, Spags, and you look at him, it's like, the guy's phenomenal, but wasn't that great of a coach. Joe Judge, he's not a Spagnuolo, that's for sure. But, at the time, when he was the special teams coordinator, all that for the Patriots, he was doing a good job, right? Daboll, it was with the Bills, with Josh Allen. He did a very good job, but you elevate him to head coach, just may not be, because sometimes, when coaches they're overmatched, right? Good coaches can find ways, right? At least to make it competitive or close or something. I don't know. Sometimes, I mean, the one thing I heard with Judge all the time, Joe Judge, after the Giants lost 312-0 to somebody, reporter would ask Judge, so what happened on this play? But what happened? And Joe Judge, I'll have to look at the tape. Then somebody else asked him, I'll have to look at the tape. That was his answer to everything. I have to look at the tape. Okay. But now, like with Daboll, a lot of his answers are kind of like the same thing, too. It's like, yeah, we just got out coached. It all starts with me. I'll take the hit on this one. We got out. Wasn't good enough. And it starts with me, and the next week we lose. Yeah, it just wasn't good enough. It starts with me. And then the next week we lose. Yeah, it all starts with me. It just wasn't good enough. We got out coached. It just was. I mean, it's like, dude, so if you're good, sometimes you find ways to win. Right? As I said, I'll never forget the game. I can't remember what season it was, 98 maybe it was, with the Jets, right? Bill Parcells. Their backup quarterback was Tommy Chupa, their punter. Okay. Who was it? The New England they lost to? Let me check this out real fast. I think 1998. Let me check this. 1998 New York Jets. They lost. So it was in 97, 98, 12-4. Was it? No, it couldn't have been that year. Nope. Let's try. Okay, 8-8. Maybe it was this year. 8-8, 99. Yeah, 99. First game of the year. They lose Vinny Testaverde, their quarterback, and they still wound up 8-8. Right? They were going to roll through the season with Vinny Testaverde, and if he was their starting quarterback with Bill Parcells as the coach, darn well they were going to have a good record. They still wound up 8-8, but they lost the first game of the season. Vinny Testaverde got injured, and Bill Parcells was the coach of the Jets, 1999. They lost 30-28 to New England. Now let me see here. Let's see here. What we got? I tell you, 1999, because Adam Vinatieri kicked the first field goal of the game. It goes to show you how long the guy's been playing for. All right, where are we at here? There we go. Okay. Vinny Testaverde was 10 out of 15. Okay. Then he got injured. Rick Meyer went in there, and he must have stunk the joint up. He was 4 out of 11. So they finished the game with Tommy Chupa, their punter. Right? I guess he was their emergency third-string quarterback, whatever. I don't know, whatever it was. But they finished the game with the punter in there. He went 6 out of 10, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns. His quarterback rate was 143.7. Rick Meyer, the quarterback, the guy got drafted in the first round a few years earlier by the Seattle. He had a quarterback rating of 5.3. They put the freaking punter in there, Tommy Tupa. He has a quarterback rating of 143.7. He goes 6 out of 10, completes 6 passes for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. Of course, Curtis Martin, he had a great game, 19 rushes for 80 yards. But Tommy Tupa, their punter, went 6 out of 10, 165 yards. Right? And the Jets wound up losing 30-28. Adam Vinatieri kicked a 23-yard field goal with 3 seconds to go in the game. Right, it's basically like the last play of the game. The Jets were winning 28-27 with 3 seconds left to go, and they wound up losing it. But it's stuff like that, right? When you're out, when you're outmanned or this, that, and the other thing, it's like even Bill Parcells. You know what I'm saying? It's like Rick Meyer, he was horrible, so he put Tommy Tupa in there. Completed 6 out of 10. Of course, most of the time they just ran the ball, but with their freaking punter, he was a quarterback too, but he was also their punter. So with their punter, they were up 28-27 with 3 seconds left to go in the game. See, that's a coach. Now, of course, that's a Hall of Fame coach. There's not many of them out there walking around, so I get it. But That's a coach, you know what I mean, who can find ways to win or keep your team in a game when things aren't going bad or when things are going bad, right? And they were going bad that game. And the Jets almost won with like their third string quarterback in it. Just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable game. So, I mean, so the point is, right, is that maybe, I said, what do all three of those guys all have in common? Well, just maybe they're better off assistants than they are head coaches. All right, guys, been 1 hour and 42 minutes. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you, thank you, thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay of this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.